admin is a massive waste of time. That's why there's Atlas, the AI-first recruitment platform built for modern agencies. It doesn't only track resumes and calls. It remembers everything, every email, every interview, every conversation, instantly searchable, always available. And now it's entering a whole new era. With Atlas 2.0, you can ask anything and it delivers. With Magic Search, you speak and it listens. It finds the right candidates using real conversations, not simply looking for keywords. Atlas 2.0 also makes business development easier than ever. With opportunities, you can track, manage, and grow client relationships powered by generative AI and built right into your workflow. Need insights? Custom dashboards give you total visibility over your pipeline. And that's not theory. Atlas customers have reported up to 41% EBITDA growth and an 85% increase in monthly billings after adopting the platform. No admin, no silos, no lost info, nothing but faster shortlists, better hires, and more time to focus on what actually drives revenue. Atlas is your personal AI partner for modern recruiting. Don't miss the future of recruitment. Get started with Atlas today and unlock your exclusive listener offer at recruitwithatlas.com.
Welcome to the Elite Recruiter Podcast with your host, Benjamin Mena, where we focus on what it takes to win in the recruiting game. We cover it all from sales, marketing, mindset, money, leadership, and placements.
I am so excited about Finish the Year Strong, and we are just a little ways away from it getting started. It is going to be the most impactful summit of the year. And here's the thing. We are taking a few sessions from the vault, from the community, from the VIP to share with you guys. These speakers are going to be speaking at Finish the Year Strong. These speakers are going to be pouring in to help make an impact, help make Q4 be the best quarter you've ever had. So make sure you get registered. Do not miss out on this opportunity. All the sessions live are free. There are two opportunities to get the replays through the community and go in VIP. But the most important thing is get a chance to be there live. Get a chance to hear these speakers. Get a chance to let them pour into you. Because here's the thing, no matter how your year has been, this is your opportunity to draw a line in the sand. Draw a line in the sand and make Q4 the best quarter yet. I will see you guys there. Make sure to get registered for Finish the Year Strong. I truly believe in the power of getting around people that are winning, people that have figured it out, because a rising tide lifts all ships in our industry. And there are a lot of great people that we just don't see on the circuits or speaking at different stuff. And like, you know what? I truly believe there's a whole new generation of recruiters that are crushing it, that are going to be the future speakers on the recruiting circuit. So Julia, I think you're one of them. So on that note, I'm going to turn it over to you. So rock the house.
Thank you, Benjamin. I so appreciate that. And hi, everyone. It's so good to be here. I'm very, very excited. Very excited to chat with all of you. So a lot of you know my story because I shouted from the rooftops on LinkedIn, but I'm going to go through during our time today, essentially my backstory, how I got to where I am today as a recruitment founder. And then the big focus of today's session is going to be the mindset shifts that got me from point A to point B. So I love that we've still got people going ahead and putting their LinkedIns in the chat. Keep doing that. Feel free to click through those and add people. These are basically the movers and shakers in recruitment, right? The people who care enough about getting better at their craft to actually spend some time learning and not just banging their heads against their keyboards, like I know is often our temptation. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to take you guys through a little bit of my story, and we'll just have some fun time together here today. Hi, I'm Julia Arpag. I'm the CEO and founder of Aligned Recruitment. And what we're talking about today is fix your mindset, get your money. So when I previously shared on Benjamin Mena's last summit, what I talked about was the tactics, like the sales, the business development, the prospecting, the discovery call process, like those nut and bolts things that helped me close the revenue I've closed so far. And that is super important, right? Like you cannot be successful as an agency owner if you have not mastered those tactics, or at least you're on your way to mastering those tactics. So who am I? Who is this random girl on a Wednesday afternoon in front of you on a Zoom call? Why should you listen to me? Let me tell you my origin story. So this is the story of Aligned Recruitment. In August of 2023, I was laid off. I was 5 weeks postpartum with my fourth son. I have two biological kids who are now 1 and 3, and I have two foster sons who are 14 and 15. So that was a pretty crazy moment to get laid off 5 weeks postpartum with my youngest. That same month, though, I was very fortunate to get 6 job offers within 2 weeks of being laid off. And I actually initially accepted 2 of them. One of them was to work full time with a former client of mine, and one was to work part time here at Aligned Recruitment with my former co founder. I was thinking like 5 hours a week, kind of build this on the side, but say yes to my full time W-2 job because the risk of owning a business was terrifying to me. September 2023. I closed my first client on a monthly retainer. My husband bought me champagne and flowers to celebrate, and it was a huge deal because we were like, oh my gosh, maybe we'll actually make some money doing this. This is crazy. October 2023, I closed my second client on a monthly retainer, and I realized I loved building my own company. So I nervously told that former client that gave me the job that I accepted that I would have to rescind my acceptance of the offer, and they actually became my third client. So that was such a blessing and such a gift. November 2023, I hired my executive coach, Diane Prince, who many of you know. I've shouted her praises from the rooftops. I've worked with her literally since the beginning and will work with her, God willing, for the rest of my life. She has started and sold 5 recruitment businesses, one for 28 million. And so that leads me to December 2023 is when I started doing business development. I had never done it before in my life. All my early clients were just former clients of mine who I had recruited for, but I've never run a 360 desk. I've never done sales. I've never done anything except for just recruitment delivery. So I had no idea how to do it. But with Diane's support, I designed a sales strategy that did continuously work to close new business. So then fast forward to June 2024, I was just very clear that I wanted to run the business by myself. So I approached my co-founder, gave her an offer to buy her out. She took it. So on June 1st, I became the sole owner of Aligned Recruitment. And obviously, it's been almost a year since then. So a lot of craziness has happened since then. So the month right after that, July, I hired my first ever operations manager. She is a genius. She's been killing it since day one and has massively freed up my time for sales and delivery. That's obviously the money makers. As a recruitment agency owner, you've got to be as close to the money as possible at any given moment. So by freeing up my time on the back end, that really made a huge difference on the front end, revenue-wise. January 2025, I started consulting myself. I started saying yes to the requests I've been getting for executive coaching. So my first client started with me in January. My second started in February, and that side of the business is still continuing to take off, which honestly was not part of the journey that I anticipated, but I've loved it. It's been such a blessing to me and to my clients, honestly. Like, they've really loved working together. So that's been huge. February, I continued to build out my internal team. So we hired a sourcer and 2 additional operations specialists so I could keep freeing up my time for sales, delivery, and vision casting for the future of the business. And then now in March, we are at 900K in revenue. So just 18 months after we launched, we've closed a total of 900K and we've hired for a total of 20 companies. So my first full year in business was 2024. So that year we closed 650K in revenue in the calendar year. So my goal is to close $1 million in revenue in the calendar year of 2025. So those are my goals. That's my backstory. So today we're talking about what mindset shifts and practices led to 900K in revenue, a current $1 million pipeline, 20 clients, a team of 4 full-time employees, all in 18 months as a first-time founder. That's what we're talking about today. Before we start, though, I want to remind you guys of a couple things. What I'm going to share today is what works for me. Everyone is different. There are only 24 hours in a day. And you will die a slow, stressful death if you try to do everything I recommend today all at once. So what I'm offering to you today is a buffet. Think of it as, oh, I want that. Oh, I don't want that. Let me try that. Let me see how that works for me. Pick 1 or 2 of these practices, master them, iterate on them, and then you can slowly add others to your tool belt as you grow. And even for me, I use these in different seasons to different intensities. Like sometimes I'll go months without doing one of these, and then I'll do it every day for another couple months. So I'm just offering you everything that's worked for me in the 18 months I've been building the business so far. So the 7 practices that have been the most impactful for me in terms of shifting my mindset and giving me the character development that I needed to be who I am today. Number 1, prayer and Bible study. I'm a Christian, so that is very much grounding for me. Number 2, affirmations. Number 3, exercise. Number 4, executive coaching. Number 5, sleep meditation. Number 6, books. And then number 7, motivational anchors. So we're going to go through each of these one by one. I'm going to explain exactly what that looks like for me, how I implement these, and then I'll have suggestions for what you guys can do and how I recommend you carry this into your day and into your life. To start with prayer and Bible study. So whatever your faith background, whether you're Christian, whether you're agnostic, whether you're Muslim, whether you're an atheist, I guarantee you will benefit from intentional time alone to be still, to reflect, and to meditate. So for me as a Christian, I need daily time with Jesus to just base level function in society, much less run my business and family. So this was already a practice I had before I became a business owner, but I could not believe how much I literally needed it once I stepped in, because there's pressure. You guys know there's way more pressure when we live at this level, when we're living at or even beyond our capacity. There's a lot more required of us. So for me, this is what works. Now, the benefits of this are, again, this is applicable to anyone of any background. My brain slows down enough to actually think, process, and reflect in the midst of the insanity of business ownership. I get clarity on big and small business decisions. I don't know if you guys have felt overwhelmed by the number of decisions you need to make every day as a founder. I definitely have. And then I'm also reminded of the massive list of blessings in my life. Like, we're all drivers, right? We're all super motivated. We're all trying to get to the next level, the next thing. But when I sit and just reflect and am grateful, I remember how much I've come from, how much I've already been given, how much I've already accomplished. And it gives me a thankful attitude to walk into more abundance, as opposed to a scarcity attitude where I'm like, there's never enough. I'm never far enough. I'm never where I want to be. That's going to lead to more scarcity. So these are the benefits. And then as far as what works best and how you should schedule this, I used to get up at 4:30 a.m. That's not doable for me anymore. My sweet little 1-year-old had this really fun sleep regression a couple months ago that just knocked me on my ass, and I have not been able to get back to that early morning schedule. So now my goal is just to spend 10 minutes doing these practices at some point during the day. So today what that looked like was literally while I was in the shower, I played a 10-minute meditation on my phone. Like, that was this time today. It used to be literally 4:30 to 5:30. I would sit, it would be this like beautiful long time. So that was great, but I'm just being totally realistic with my season and with what is reasonable. So I invite you, give yourself permission to do exactly the same. Be super realistic, be super honest with both what you need and what's actually doable in your season. So here are some structures. So back in the day, in the 4:30 a.m. day, I would light a candle, I would pour a cup of coffee, I would journal, pray, read my Bible, read a commentary. It was like magical. Now, like I said, I listen to Christian music, listen to a podcast. Maybe I'll read like a single verse and then I'm off to the races. But the idea is just to slow down, to give your soul time to catch up with you. Your body, your brain, your spirit are moving so fast all day. You have a crazy amount of pressure on your shoulders, and you have got to spend just 10 minutes a day taking that pressure off and just holding it and just not carrying it just for a moment. So that is really what this time is about. So as far as tools that have worked for me, so faith-based for anyone here who's also a Christian, the apps I love are Lectio 365 and Prayerful. And then a Spotify playlist I listen to is just called Soft Worship Music Common Christian. I know, basic. Faith agnostic tools, I'm sure we've all heard of Headspace and Calm. I love those meditation apps. Those have been super helpful to me. And then my favorite podcast is called The Mindful Movement. That's actually going to come up later in this conversation as well when we get into the sleep meditation conversation. It is free on Spotify, and they have a massive library of incredible meditations. So I rely heavily on that as well. So lots of amazing tools. And the reason I love this is, like I said, if you only have 10 minutes, no problem. You can do a 10-minute meditation. You can do a 10-minute devotional. You can make it happen. There's no reason not to make the time for this every day, because it can be as short as your day allows. But what's important is just taking the time to stop. That has been so beneficial for me. Which leads me to the second thing. This is another daily practice. Again, for me, it's super quick. It's super short. But I know what you're thinking. Ew, affirmations are so cliche and annoying. I agree. A lot of them are. When I first did my research, I could not believe how many affirmation podcasts and playlists were so cringy. I was like, maybe affirmations just aren't for me. Nope. The answer is you need to build your own. So number one, research affirmations that most resonate with you. Literally write your own. I have written dozens of my own, taking ideas from other people, from the Bible, from, again, playlists I found, rewording them in ways that aren't so cliche and cringy. And then this is where it's going to get maybe woo-woo, a little bit too woo-woo for you, but stick with me here. Record yourself reading them, like literally your voice, your meditations. Use the app on your phone. If you're an iPhone user like me, you have like a voice recording app. If you're an Android user, good luck. I have no idea. And then you're going to play that recording every morning while you're getting ready for your workday. So while I'm doing my makeup, while I'm literally getting dressed in the morning, while I'm on the way home from dropping my kids off at Montessori, like whenever I can fit it in. Sometimes I listen to it while I'm sourcing because I had no time to do it in the insanity of my morning. So the huge affirmation topic I encourage you guys to think about is money. So if you're anything like me, I had massive reservations about setting goals about making money. It felt selfish. It felt wrong. It felt inconsistent with my passion for justice. Like I mentioned before, I'm a foster mom. I have my 2 teenage foster sons and my faith. Like I said, I'm a Christian. So it felt wrong to make money a goal. So I was like, okay, there's more here, right? Like I'm not just going to be like, oh, yeah, making money's bad. Just don't think about it. Don't talk about it. Bye. I was like, no, let's dig into this. What's really going on here? So I thought about what I could do in the realm of social justice if I had more money, and then reframed my initial reservation. So an affirmation I now speak over myself every single day is money in the hands of good people is a gift to the world. So if you and I are making boatloads of money, we are going to change the world with our money. We are going to make the world a better place. So in that sense, it's actually selfish for us not to make as much money as we possibly can, because money translates to a tool. It allows us to do good things in the world. So that was one huge affirmation and one huge mental shift for me. And then another one related to my faith, I thought about what Jesus teaches about money, which is you can't serve both God and money. And I reframed that initial reservation. So the affirmation is, I don't serve money, money serves me. Again, money is a tool that I'm using to serve God, to make the world a better place, to serve my community. So those reframes have been so, so powerful for me. So the result of me doing this work is I now have a 16-minute recording of me reading affirmations that resonate with me personally. So the topics of my affirmations are wealth, abundance, mission, faith, excellence, strength, perseverance. Those are some of the themes. So the way I've implemented this, like I said, I listen to it every day. Some days I listen to it at the randomest times. Some days, I'll be honest, I skip it. I totally forget. But I have noticed the days I listen to it, I am dialed in, I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic, I'm trusting, I'm prayerful, I am confident. I just have another level of confidence that I don't have on the days that I skip this. So this is a major unlock that I cannot recommend highly enough.
Finish the year strong is going to be the most impactful summit of the year. Every single summit we have held up until this point is preparing for this one. So that way it can propel you to have the strongest quarter yet. Finish the year strong. It's kicking off October 13th, and you do not want to miss this. Get registered now.
Okay, another daily practice. You've heard, I'm not the first person. I'm probably the 9 millionth person that said this to you, but you have got to exercise. I don't have to tell you why. You already know. Endorphins, strength, health, energy, longevity, character development, etc. What's great about all of you on this call specifically is if you have the drive to start a business, you definitely have the drive to work out every single day. Not to quote Nike, but just do it. So this is what works for me. I work out between 30 and 60 minutes, 5 times a week. I do Peloton workouts. Driving to the gym was a part of my life that ended when I had 4 kids, but I still make it work for me. So 3 of the days I do strength, so lifting. 1 of the days I do spin, and then 1 of the days I do yoga. So the reasons I personally work out, I'm gonna be honest, I am 100% addicted to endorphins. If I don't work out, I feel like crap. Tired, angry, groggy, sad, bad times. If I'm in a bad mood, my husband's like, did you skip your workout today? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, stop doing what you're doing and go work out right now. Like, it's that serious. And then secondly, I want to be as strong as possible in every area of my life, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So I have to practice how I want to play. We'll get into some quotes that have really grounded me later, but one of them that I think about every day is the way I do anything is the way I do everything. So if I don't have the discipline and the stamina and the perseverance to work out for 30 minutes, like how on earth am I going to make it through the next 1, 2, 5, 10 years as a business owner, right? We all know there's massive benefits to this, but it's also really hard. So this is one of the ways I can practice perseverance and practice discipline every single day. There is no way I would have built 900K in the past 18 months if I didn't have discipline, stamina, and perseverance. And then lastly, there's literally no downside. There's nothing bad about working out unless you don't want more energy and a smaller pant size. Like it's literally a win-win. So I'm going to leave this here. Y'all know what to do. Most of you are probably already working out. Way to go. If you're on Peloton, my personal favorite trainers are Jess Sims, Alex Toussaint, and Adrian. I forget his last name. Those are my favorites. Okay. Executive coaching. So again, I have shouted Diane's story from the rooftops. This woman is a literal genius. We've been working together, as you know, since I started the business. I do one-on-one coaching with her, and I also use her virtual assistant agency for support. We really should have some kind of like partnership, but we don't. I just adore her. So I want everyone to know how magical and smart she is. So what has massively helped me, like why coaching has been such a mindset unlock. So I'm a regular person, right? I get discouraged, I get exhausted, I get overwhelmed, I get doubtful that I can do this. And so having a coach I can go to who has felt all of that and then come out on the other side is immeasurable. Like there was this one day when I lost one of my biggest retainer clients and I was like, oh my gosh, like, should I just shut down the business? I had never had that happen before. Like either my retainers were small, so when they went away, it wasn't a big deal. But this one had been a client for over a year. They had anywhere from 1 to 3 recs open every month. So like great money coming in consistently. And then their business aggressively slowed down. They had to lay off half their team, had to stop working together. So I called Diane. I was like, should I just quit? Look, this is terrifying. What do I do now? And what's so great about coaching is a good coach won't just give you the answer. They'll ask you more questions. So we dove into what are my long-term goals? Why do I run a business? What about this lifestyle is preferable to me than having a W-2 job, if anything? So reminding myself of my why, reminding myself of why I'm doing this, and reminding myself that it's normal. Like every business owner feels that at some point or another, if not every single day, has been massive. And then the other piece is those tactics I mentioned earlier. So coaching has given me tactics to close that 900K in revenue with, again, literally zero sales experience. Never did this a day of my life before opening the business. It's given me insights on healthy leadership and smart scaling. So like I could have just gone after VC funding and like dumped money into the business and then burned through it. I didn't want to do that. That wasn't my vision for the business. That wasn't what I wanted to do. And I could be the kind of leader who works 18 hours a day and has my whole team do the same. Again, not what I wanted to do. So helping me have insight into the kind of leader I wanted to be and the kind of business I wanted to build was huge. And then that guidance on how to structure my specific business to reflect my specific goals was another massive thing that coaching has given me. I could go on and on. I could do an entire deck about executive coaching alone, but the benefits have been literally innumerable. So that's why I decided to offer coaching. To be honest, I was getting inundated with requests from fellow agency founders. It's massively helped me as a business owner. And I've only been doing this for 18 months, but I've learned a lot. And if other people want the help, I want to give it to them. So whether you coach with me, Diane, someone else, the way to make coaching work for you, come to every coaching session with specific questions you want answered. So my favorite style of coaching, what Diane does and what I do is the coachee is in the driver's seat. You're the one who knows what you need. You're the one who knows what your vision is. You're the one who knows what your goals are. So you're going to come to every session with specific questions you want answered. And then the second step, so many people don't do this, which blows my mind, but just do the things the coach tells you to do. Like, I'm not joking. If I had been like, oh, thanks for these 25 sales tactics and then not done them, there's no chance in hell I would have built what I've built. So just action on the wisdom you're getting from people who are farther down the road than you. That is literally it. I'm not kidding. That is how you're going to make coaching work for you. Okay, that's all I'll say about that. Sleep meditation. Okay, so if you're like every other high achieving, high earning, high capacity founder I've ever spoken to, you may have a hard time falling asleep at night. I do, or at least I did. Sleep is everything. If we're not sleeping well, everything and everyone suffers. Your mental agility, your attitude, your perseverance, creativity, capacity, energy sucks. 2 thumbs down. Very bad. If you're not sleeping, not the best. I've always struggled with falling asleep at night because I've always been slightly high strung, in case you couldn't tell. When I became a business owner, it went into overdrive. I was up all night obsessing about the business. Then I was totally shot the next day. Plus, I had a baby waking up all night. You guys know the origin story. I had a 5-week-old. So all that being said, sleep has always been an issue for me. Went into overdrive when I founded the business. So this podcast has changed my life. I already mentioned this in terms of the meditation, but the mindful movement also has sleep meditations. And again, I don't get affiliate perks from them, but I really should. So they have 1-hour sleep meditations. And I do recommend you listen with your headphones on so your partner still likes you. My husband actually bought me a sleep mask that has earphones like as part of the sleep masks because he was like, hey, love you, love that this works for you, but also this is horrible for me and I need to stop listening to this. So all that being said, what I love about this is that it dovetails with the affirmations. So all their sleep meditations focus on similar topics to the affirmations that you're going to create and record for yourself. Abundance, gratitude, new beginnings, openness to opportunity, etc. What you focus on right before you fall asleep impacts the quality of your sleep and your mindset the next day. So if you're falling asleep in front of the TV or if you're falling asleep, I don't know, scrolling your phone, like that is going to set you up for a day of anxiety, fatigue, and frustration. So you need to make sure your pre-sleep thoughts align with your whole life vision. That brings me to another thing that, again, what you're filling your mind with is really going to impact the quality of your life. Books. What? Who has time to read? You, if you want to make serious money and also grow as a human. I'm going to share a quick story time. So a former business owner I know scaled one of her businesses to $30K a month as a solopreneur. But she was like, I don't really like reading books or listening to podcasts or learning. She literally told me she doesn't like learning. She told me she prefers to go with her gut and feel the right thing to do in her business. Fast forward to today, we're a couple years after that height of $30K a month. Her clients have all dried up. Her monthly revenue is down to a max of 4 figures. Some are 0. And she started applying for W-2 jobs, but she can't get any interviews. So I tell you this story because ultimately, if you refuse to learn, no one can help you. If you're determined to learn, no one can stop you. This is one of my motivational anchor sayings. Whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed or discouraged or like there's so much I don't know, I'm like, yeah, but I'm determined to learn. There's so much I don't know. There's a hilarious amount I don't know. There's way more I don't know than what I do know. But because my posture is that I'm never, ever going to stop learning, no one's going to be able to stop me. I'm going to persevere through every obstacle. I'm going to figure out every problem. I'm never going to lose because the only way to lose is to quit. So this is a massive mindset shift that is going to serve you if you don't already think this way. So I highly recommend you adopt this as one of your mindset practices. And then tactically, I'm going to just give you the list of books you should read. Like, these are the most impactful business books I have read in the past 18 months. Again, you're going to have this deck. So if you want, you can just like take a picture of this, but I also promise you're going to have the deck. So these have all been massively helpful to me. Every single one of these I have implemented in some significant way in my life. I'm currently reading 10X is Easier Than 2X, and I'm obsessed with it. But every single book on this list, I've read at least once, if not twice. Designing Your Life, I've read twice. Atomic Habits, I've read twice. Mindset, I've read twice. 4-Hour Workweek, I've read twice. Y'all got to get in on this. I swear. And then I also have to share, again, as a Christian, I am very interested in faith-based business books. So for anyone on here who's also a Christian, I wanted to give you this list as well. These have been very, very helpful for me so that I don't just fall prey to the hustle culture, right? Like, it's so easy to just be like, work crazy hours, hustle all the time, no rest for the weary. I'll sleep when I'm dead, like that kind of thinking. That is not how I want to live my life. That is not how I want to build my business. So staying grounded in my faith as a business owner has been massive for me as well. Again, this deck will be available. These are all books that have really served me. The last thing I'll say is don't judge fiction, right? I know a lot of business owners are like, I only read nonfiction. If I'm not learning, like there's no point. But actually, reading fiction really helps you transition to sleeping time. And it's been shown to increase your empathy and mental agility, which are obviously necessary for business owners. So the last thing I'll say is if you have time to watch TV or scroll on your phone, you have time to read. Okay. The last thing I want to talk about is motivational anchors. So I've already thrown a couple of these in throughout our time today, but essentially these are statements that I come back to when I'm feeling tired, discouraged, or like I want to quit. So they're similar to affirmations, but they're more kick me in the butt variety versus give me a warm hug. So my affirmation might be like, I don't know what's one like the money, like the money ones I shared, like, money is a tool. The motivational anchors are more like, go make some money. You know what I'm saying? Not exactly that, but I'll show you. So as you can see by the aggression of this picture, this is kind of the flavor of the motivational anchors that have really helped me. You can find lots of great motivational playlists on Spotify. My favorite is this one, Motivational Speeches, the best motivational speeches in music. I pulled a bunch of them and just made my own motivational playlist. So a lot of these anchors come from that playlist. These are a few of my favorites. I already mentioned the way you do anything is the way you do everything. Nothing happens to you. Everything happens for you. So that one helps me when I'm in like a victim mindset, like when a client dries up or when a team member isn't doing well or when one of my kids is struggling. We've had a lot of challenges with our foster sons these past couple of years. I could just sit here and be in victim mentality, victim mindset and be like, woe is me. Or I could say, this is for me and it's up to me to figure out how. What unlock is waiting for me on the other side of this challenge? Another one I love is the only way to fail is to quit. I brought that concept up before, just the idea of everything is figure outable. I'm just going to keep going. Even if it means pivoting, I never quit. I keep going. I keep figuring it out. In a similar vein, I refuse to accept temporary defeat as permanent failure. And then finally, I didn't come this far to only come this far. Whenever I'm feeling, again, discouraged or like life is too hard, business ownership is too hard, motherhood is too hard, I'm like, girlfriend, you have persevered through so much. You're not stopping now. You didn't come this far to only come this far. So I highly recommend steal mine, take your own. But these are so, so helpful for you to have as a grounding principle for you in your life. Okay, those are the 7 practices I wanted to go through today. I have one parting thought for you. Mindset tactics only take you so far. You have to honor your season. So there is so much hustle, grind, language, and culture in entrepreneurship. I hate that. That is not going to serve you. That is going to lead to burnout. All of these practices are time consuming. So you have to give yourself grace. That's why I said pick 1 or 2 and you're going to wildly imperfectly start it. You're going to suck at it at first. It's going to be awkward and weird. You might suck at it forever. My 16-minute affirmation playlist, the audio quality, terrible. I recorded it at like 7 different junctures. So my voice sounds totally different in every part of the recording. Who cares? It gets the job done. So you've got to honor the reality of your season. As you know, I'm a young mother, so my schedule looks very different than someone who's single and doesn't have any kids. Give yourself grace. You're going to do all of this imperfectly, and that's fine and normal and appropriate. And then third, accept where you are right now while doing the work to get where you want to go. And then most importantly, you've got to remember your why. So this is my family. I share this on every presentation I do because this is so grounding for me and so motivating for me. So obviously this is me on the left. This is Atlas, my 1-year-old, the little guy who was just born when I was laid off. These are our 2 foster sons. I can't show you their faces or tell you their names because that's illegal for foster parents to do, but I promise they're gorgeous. This is Wilder, my 3-year-old, and this is Alex, my husband. So everything I do is grounded in my faith and my family. So that helps me release myself from the pressure of the hustle and grind mindset of entrepreneurship and remind me I am doing this as a part of my whole life integration and my whole life vision, never at the detriment of my family or my faith. So that is why this is important to keep this so top of mind for you. So last thing I'll say, like I mentioned, I have started offering coaching and consulting. If that's of interest to you, feel free to scan my LinkedIn QR code, shoot me a ping. We can go ahead and set up a call and see if that's a good fit for you. Literally no pressure. Like I said, there are phenomenal coaches besides me. Again, Diane Prince is my personal favorite, but I have really, really loved offering coaching to the people I've worked with so far. So if you liked what you heard today, if you resonate with my approach, more than happy to chat with you.
Once again, she's been on multiple recruiting podcasts, whether the Elite Recruiter podcast, whether the Resilient Recruiter, whether Top Biller, and a few more. Like, go listen to her story. But after today, some of the stuff that she shared, make sure to go implement. Go put some of that work into your life. And that's what's going to set up the difference to help you rock the year. So that way, like when you come back and see her again in October, you can literally hop in the chat and be like, guess what? I literally had my best last 4 or 5 months because of your chat, Julia.
I would love that. That'd be amazing to hear. Yeah. Like I said, just do what you're told. Like if you implement the things that you hear from people who are a little bit further along the path than you, then I guarantee you'll be successful. So yeah, implementation really is the key following talks like this.
Awesome. Julia, I'll let you go. I'll let you get back to the recruiting desk. So
Absolutely.
See you guys soon. And once again, thank you. And make sure to follow her on LinkedIn and connect. Okay, guys? See you soon.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Admin is a massive waste of time. That's why there's Atlas, the AI first recruitment platform built for modern agencies. It doesn't only track resumes and calls. It remembers everything, every email, every interview, every conversation, instantly searchable, always available. And now it's entering a whole new era. With Atlas 2.0, you can ask anything and it delivers. With Magic Search, you speak and it listens. It finds the right candidates using real conversations, not simply looking for keywords. Atlas 2.0 also makes business development easier than ever. With opportunities, you can track, manage, and grow client relationships powered by generative AI and built right into your workflow. Need insights? Custom dashboards give you total visibility over your pipeline. And that's not theory. Atlas customers have reported up to 41% EBITDA growth and an 85% increase in monthly billings after adopting the platform. No admin, no silos, no lost info, nothing but faster shortlists, better hires, and more time to focus on what actually drives revenue. Atlas is your personal AI partner for modern recruiting. Don't miss the future of recruitment. Get started with Atlas today and unlock your exclusive listener offer at recruitwithatlas.com.